Slovenia. A small country in Central Europe is where history and nature come together in a stunning landscape of alpine peaks, clear rivers, and centuries-old villages. Over the centuries, Slovenia has been shaped by various civilizations, from the Romans to the Habsburgs, each leaving a mark on its culture, architecture, and traditions. Join us as we journey through Slovenia's best preserved places and natural wonders, discovering what makes this small nation such a unique and intriguing part of our world. In the northeastern part of the country, there is the small but charming Jeruzalem village. Jerusalem may share its name with a far more famous city, but this serene hamlet offers a unique experience. Famous for its beautiful hills covered with vineyards and its historical and religious significance. Jerusalem has earned a reputation as the heart of Slovenia's wine country, producing some of the finest white wines in the world. Its vineyards thrive in the ideal conditions created by the village's geography. The sunny slopes of the hills help grapes achieve optimal ripeness. While the cooler nights preserve acidity, which is crucial for producing balanced and refreshing wines. At the center of the village lies the Church of St. Mary of the Seven Sorrows, a pilgrimage site for centuries. The church, with its simple yet elegant design, reflects the spiritual importance Jerusalem village has held for travelers, pilgrims, and locals alike. Perched on a cliff within a cave mouth is the Renaissance castle of Predjama. Built in the 13th century, this incredible fortress has stood the test of time for over 800 years. The castle's architecture, merging seamlessly with the natural rock, made it an impenetrable stronghold in its heyday. In fact, Predjama Castle was home to one of Slovenia's most notorious historical figures, Erasmus of Ljuž, a knight-turned-robber baron who was both feared and admired for standing against the Habsburg Empire. Unfortunately, according to legend, he was struck down by a cannonball while he was in his most vulnerable spot, the toilet. A few kilometers away is the Postojna cave, which is the second longest cave system in the country. It was first discovered in the 17th century but it wasn't until the 19th century that its true extent was revealed. The cave's vast chambers are adorned with stalactites that hang like delicate chandeliers, while stalagmites rise like ancient statues from the ground. Velika Planina is a unique mountain plateau in Slovenia. It's known for being one of the largest and oldest herdsman settlements in Europe. The plateau's distinctive wooden huts are a powerful symbol of the herdsman's culture. Each has a rounded roof that extends almost to the ground, providing good shelter against the weather. Some huts have been standing in the same place for centuries, surviving through wars, harsh winters, and social changes. Even though modern life has changed how many people live, the herdsmen on Velika Planina still keep their old ways, using the plateau as a seasonal pasture for over 500 years. High above the villages of the Kamnik Alps stands the Church of St. Primoz. Dedicated to Saint Primoz and Felician, the church dates back to the late 15th century. A place of pilgrimage, people would climb this hill to offer their prayers and seek protection from the two saints who were early Christian martyrs. Additionally, the hilltop offers one of the best panoramic views in Slovenia. To the north, the Kamnik Alps are visible, and on clear days, the distant Julian Alps can also be seen, as their towering peaks stand proudly on the horizon. Celje Castle. Standing proudly above the city of Celje, the fortress was once the seat of Slovenia's most powerful and influential dynasty, the Counts of Celje. Constructed during the 14th century, the castle is the largest medieval fortress in Slovenia. It was once a luxurious seat of power, with grand halls, towers, and a network of fortifications that made it nearly impregnable. One of the most famous stories tied to Celje Castle is the forbidden romance between Frederick II of Celje and Veronica of Decinis, a love affair that scandalized the court. Their love defied the wishes of Frederick's father, Count Hermann II, who was desperate to protect the family's political ambitions. The legend comes to a tragic end, as it is said that Veronica was imprisoned and drowned on the orders of Herman II. In the foothills of the Julian Alps, Lake Bled is a place where nature, history, and legend converge. With its crystal clear waters, a fairy tale island, and a towering medieval castle, it's no wonder that this alpine jewel has intrigued travelers for centuries. Rising from the heart of Lake Bled, Slovenia's most iconic landmark, the Church of the Assumption. For centuries, this small but sacred island has drawn pilgrims, visitors, and romantics from all over the world. The journey to Bled Island is part of the church's allure. Accessible only by boat, visitors take the Planina, a wooden flat-bottom boat rowed by standing oarsmen in a centuries-old tradition. Another iconic landmark of the lake is Bled Castle, a standing sentinel on a sheer cliff. From the castle, the view of the lake and the surrounding Alps is nothing short of spectacular. Today, the castle is a window into Slovenia's past. Its museum tells a story of the region's history, from medieval times to the modern era, while the castle's wine cellar and traditional printing press give visitors a taste of life from centuries ago. On the northern edge of the Adriatic Sea lies Izola, a town on Slovenia's small but stunning coastline. Originally founded as a fishing village by the ancient Romans, its name, which means island in Italian, reflects its origins when it was still an island off the coast. Overlooking both the town and the sea, there is the Church of St. Maurus. Built in the 16th century, it is dedicated to St. Maurus, the town's patron saint. Like much of Izola, the Church of St. Maurus was shaped by the influence of the Venetian Republic, which ruled this coastal town for centuries. The church's Gothic and Romanesque elements reflect the architectural styles of the period, while its bell tower has served as a landmark for sailors returning home from the Adriatic. Cerkev Svetije Trojice, or more simply known as the Holy Trinity Church, is hidden away in the remote village of Hrastovlje. First constructed in the 12th century, Holy Trinity Church is a rare example of a fortified church. It was built to protect both the villagers and the sacred building itself from invaders. These thick stone walls tell the story of a time when churches were not just places of worship, but also sanctuaries for conflict. Its defensive walls, built in the 16th century, protected the villages from Ottoman raids and other threats that swept through the region. Podsreda Castle is one of the best preserved Romanesque castles in Slovenia. It is unique not only for its preservation of artifacts inside, but for its architectural features. The Romanesque elements, such as the arched windows and thick stone walls, are rare examples of early medieval architecture in this part of Europe. The lords of Podsreda, who once resided here, were also among the most influential noble families in Slovenia. They held considerable power in the southeastern Alps during the 12th and 13th centuries. This made the castle a key defensive and administrative center in the region. Dedicated to St. Anne, the mother of the Virgin Mary, the St. Anne's Church serves as a place of pilgrimage. To reach St. Anne's Church is to take a journey, both physical and spiritual. Visitors and pilgrims walk along ancient paths that wind through Slovenia's natural beauty. Each step bringing them closer to the sanctuary at the top of the hill. For centuries, worshippers have come here to ask for blessings, especially for family, fertility, and safe childbirth. The medieval village of Smartno was originally built as a fortified settlement in the country's wine-growing region of Goriška Brda. The village's defensive walls, which once protected it from invaders, now offer a gateway into one of Slovenia's most charming and well-preserved medieval settlements. The village is also surrounded by vineyards that produce some of the region's most celebrated wines, including the crisp white Rebula and red Merlot. The winemakers here, many of whom are part of family-run vineyards, take pride in their craft, offering visitors a taste of Slovenia's viticultural heritage. Planina Zajamniki is a remote mountain pasture located in northwestern Slovenia. This place has a unique atmosphere because it looks like a village frozen in time. Although there are no permanent residents, the wooden cottages serve as traditional shelters for shepherds and their livestock. Historically, Zajamniki was used as a summer pasture area for local farmers. Families from the Bohinj region would bring their cattle here during the warm months to graze on the rich grass of the plateau. The settlement pattern, with the huts arranged in a single line, allowed for maximum exposure to sunlight, which was essential for drying hay and preserving the food supply for winter. Sneznik Castle is one of Slovenia's best preserved castles and stands as a symbol of noble heritage and centuries of history. Though it began as a medieval fortress, it has transformed over time into the stately manor we see today. Reflecting the tastes and needs of the aristocratic families who called it home, the 19th century transformation of Sneznik Castle turned it into a romantic manor. Its prime location enhances its aesthetic, as it is situated at the edge of the expansive Sneznik forest and surrounded by a peaceful park with meadows, woodlands, and a shimmering lake that reflects the castle's grandeur. Triglav National Park, Slovenia's only national park and a natural wonderland that stretches across the Julian Alps, covering nearly 4% of the country's territory. This park is a protected area of unparalleled beauty, where jagged peaks meet emerald green rivers, cascading waterfalls, and serene alpine meadows. Among Triglav's many national treasures is Vrsic waterfall, one of the most striking waterfalls in Slovenia. With a 52-meter drop, this impressive cascade roars into the valley below. Additionally, visitors can even walk behind the waterfall's upper tier, feeling the mist as it crashes down. The Celje River, known for its emerald green waters, flows through the heart of Triglav National Park. The color is so striking that it has been dubbed the Emerald Beauty, The river is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts, offering activities like rafting, kayaking, and fly fishing in its pristine waters. Another awe-inspiring sight in the park is Boka Waterfall, Slovenia's tallest waterfall. Its sheer power and height make it one of the most dramatic natural spectacles in the region. Finally, the summit of Vogel Mountain offers an unforgettable panorama. From here, you can gaze out over the peaks of the Julian Alps. But perhaps the most spectacular sight is the view of Lake Bohinj below. This pristine glacial lake, with its crystal clear waters, is the largest natural lake in the country. It is a haven for nature lovers, offering peaceful moments of reflection or adventure on its waters. While the historic St. John the Baptist Church stands on a hill nearby. The picturesque church of St. John the Baptist quietly watches over the water, its reflection rippling gently in the lake. The church's origins date back over 700 years, making it one of Slovenia's oldest and most cherished churches. Its bell tower, crowned with a traditional onion dome, is a recognizable feature of the Bohinj landscape, while the church's medieval frescoes depict biblical scenes that have been lovingly preserved through the ages. Other than the church, there is the beautiful Savica waterfall near the lake as well. The waterfall begins its journey high above in the mountain, where it splits into two streams, forming a distinctive A shape as it falls into the crystal clear pool below. The water from Savica flows directly into Lake Bohinj, serving as an unbroken link between the mountains, the forest, and the waters of the park. The second largest city in Slovenia, Maribor, is renowned for its lively cultural scene, medieval charm, and its deep connection to wine, one of the country's most cherished traditions. With an abundance of historical landmarks, the city is home to the Gothic Maribor Cathedral, which has been a spiritual center for centuries with its striking spire. The Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, also known simply as Maribor Cathedral, dates back to the 12th century. Originally built in the Romanesque style, it has evolved over the centuries into the stunning Gothic structure we see today. Kamen Castle, or Grad Kamen, was built in the 12th century by the Counts of Ortenburg, one of the most noteworthy noble families in the region. Though in ruins today, the castle was once a centre of life and commerce during its prime. The Lords of Kamen, who ruled from within its walls, were known for their influence in the region. The castle served as both a military fortress and a noble residence, complete with grand halls, courtyards, and a chapel. On the serene waters of the Krka River, the Otocec Castle is one of the few water castles in Slovenia. Connected to the mainland by a picturesque bridge, the castle has stood here since the 13th century, its walls guarding centuries of history. It started as a fortress, just like most historic castles, but it has since been expanded and renovated, eventually transforming into the elegant manor it is today. In fact, the castle now serves as a luxurious retreat. The dense gardens and woodlands invite guests to explore the beauty of the region, while the gentle Krka River offers opportunities for boating, fishing, and quiet reflection. Piran is a town located on the southwestern coast of Slovenia. The town is one of Slovenia's main tourist destinations due to its history, architecture, and beautiful coastal setting. But unlike many other coastal towns, Piran has a unique Venetian influence that gives it a distinct character. This influence can be seen in its buildings, narrow streets, and even its main square, Tartini Square, named after the famous violinist Giuseppe Tartini, who was born in Piran. The Vrsic Pass is the highest mountain road in Slovenia, one of the most sensational routes through the Julian Alps. Offering incredible panoramic views of the rugged peaks of the landscape, it's a journey that captures the raw beauty of this mountainous region. However, this scenic route has a history marked by sacrifice. The road over Vrsic Pass was built during World War I by Russian prisoners of war under harsh conditions to serve the Austrian military's need for a supply route. Many of the prisoners perished during the construction, especially in a devastating avalanche in 1916. The town of Slovenska Bistrica is a picturesque town known for its historical landmarks. Established in the 13th century on the trade route between Maribor and Celje, the town is now the seat of one of the largest municipalities in Slovenia. At the heart of Slovenska Bistrica stands the Church of St. Bartholomew. Originally built in the Gothic style, this sacred structure has been shaped by time, with Baroque influences now gracing its interior. It is often described as one of Europe's greenest capitals. In fact, it was awarded the title of European Green Capital in 2016 due to its commitment to environmental sustainability. The city has implemented numerous eco-friendly initiatives, including pedestrianizing large parts of the city center and encouraging cycling. Dominating the city's skyline is Ljubljana Castle, a symbol of the city's long and varied history. It is one of the oldest structures in the city, with over 900 years worth of history. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, parts of Ljubljana Castle were used as a prison. Prison cells can still be seen today, offering a peek into this darker chapter of the castle's history. There is also a local legend that claims the ancient Greek hero Jason and the Argonauts fought a dragon in the marshes below Castle Hill. This myth ties into Ljubljana's long-standing association with dragons, which are now an important symbol of the city. Flowing through the heart of the city, a lifeline that has shaped the city for centuries. The river's calm water provide a picturesque backdrop to the lively streets and squares that line its banks. Several famous bridges cross the river, such as the Triple Bridge, which is composed of 3 bridges. Designed by the famous Slovenian architect Jože Plečnik, this unique structure elegantly connects the old town to the modern city center, leading you directly to the hub of Ljubljana. In northern Slovenia, Logar Valley is a picturesque glacial valley where the harmony between the natural world and traditional farming has been preserved for centuries. The valley's fertile fields and rolling meadows are set against the rugged peaks of the Kamnik-Savinja Alps, creating a striking contrast of serene beauty and dramatic heights. It has a unique topography that has been shaped by ice over millennia, leaving behind its iconic U-shaped formation. Today, it remains one of the most untouched natural areas in Slovenia. Slapnik village seems to be a village frozen in time, as the once thriving community is now an abandoned settlement that only witnesses curious adventurers and hikers. It was once a typical Slovenian village where families lived in harmony with nature, farming the land and building their homes from the very stone beneath their feet. But over the years, like many rural villages, it fell victim to depopulation as residents moved to urban centers in search of better opportunities. Over the last few decades, nature has slowly reclaimed the village. Trees now grow through the roofs of old houses, and wildflowers have taken over the stone walls. A few hours' drive away is the St. Thomas Church, which sits high in the hills of the northern part of the country. Dating back to the 17th century, St. Thomas Church is a beacon of simplicity and faith. Its humble architecture, with a single bell tower rising above the trees, reflects the deep spiritual roots of the local community that built it, seeking solace and connection with the land. The church's stunning location has made it a favorite subject for photographers and artists worldwide, often bathed in the warm light of sunrise or mysteriously shrouded in mist. Close by, there is the medieval town of Skofja Loka. With its cobbled streets, Gothic and Renaissance architecture, and ancient town walls, it is one of the oldest and best preserved towns in the country. Overlooking the town is the magnificent Logar Castle, which has stood for over 1,000 years. Built by the bishops of Freising, the castle now houses a museum that showcases the interesting history of the town, from its medieval roots to its present. Kobarid, a town infamously known for its historical involvement in the First World War and its many archaeological sites. Overlooking the town, perched on the slopes of Mount Kolovrat, stands the Church of St. Anthony, a symbol of peace and remembrance. The church, also known as the Italian charnel house, is more than just a place of worship. It stands as a memorial to the thousands of soldiers who lost their lives during World War I, particularly during the infamous Battle of Caporetto. This battle was fought between the Kingdom of Italy and the Central Powers back in 1917. From the church's hilltop location, visitors are rewarded with sweeping views of the Socha Valley and the surrounding mountains, a reminder of the peaceful beauty that now fills this once war-torn region. Returning to the Julian Alps, there is the small but charming cottage village of Planina Blato. Known for its traditional alpine pastures and scenic hiking trails, The village serves as the perfect gateway to explore some of Slovenia's most stunning mountain landscapes. Planina Blato has long been used as a summer pasture for local farmers who bring their cattle to graze in the meadows. Here, it is distinctively scattered with little wooden huts all over. These huts, known as plansharish, were once home to shepherds tending their herds in this remote alpine haven. Surrounded by growing vineyards and endless views is Svetinje village, another influential place in Slovenia's winemaking industry. Its wine cellars, or kleti, are where the magic happens. Winemakers here take pride in producing local varieties like Leški Riesling, Šipon, and Traminer, each with its own unique flavor profile that reflects the essence of the land. Many of the homes feature red-tiled roofs and are surrounded by vineyards that have been cultivated for generations. Zelenci Nature Reserve is a place where nature thrives undisturbed. Its landscape is framed by the majestic peaks of the Julian Alps, with the iconic Mount Yalovec dominating the horizon. In the summer, the reserve comes alive with color. Its green waters, blooming wildflowers, and dense forests invite visitors to explore and connect with nature. In the winter, it then transforms into a winter wonderland. The springs remain unfrozen, their vivid green hues contrasting beautifully with the snow-covered landscape. Within the reserve are the famous Zelenci Springs, an emerald green wonder where water rises from underground. These springs form the source of the Sava Dolinka River, and their unique color and clarity have made them one of Slovenia's most photographed natural landmarks. These springs are fed by subterranean rivers flowing through porous chalk deposits, creating a rare and delicate environment. The crystal clear water, with its constant temperature year-round, supports a unique ecosystem that can't be found anywhere else in Slovenia. This is Slovenia. Now, check out this video